All right, everyone, thanks so much for the time today. We're going to focus on bookkeeping for e-commerce companies. Now, Pilot does more than just bookkeeping. We're a one-stop shop for all your back office needs, but bookkeeping will be the focus for today's session. Now, if you're here today, you're probably a founder or an executive looking to learn more about bookkeeping and how to get your company's finances in order. Maybe you already have something in place, but it's not quite meeting your needs, or maybe you're starting from scratch. Well, either way, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to go over a live demo of how Pilot software works and what working with us will be like. So bookkeeping is not the most exciting part of running a business, and it's easy to overlook it when you're running around trying to build a business. But as unglamorous as bookkeeping may be, it's also really critical to running a successful business. That's because your books are your source of truth on your financial data. So if you don't have access to accurate financial data, you're setting yourself up for a lot of problems. Number one, if you don't know your actual burn rate, you might be estimating your burn incorrectly and might not have enough runway. Or if you don't have good accrual versus cash records, you can find yourself in a cash flow crunch because you don't know what's due to you versus what's actually in the bank. This can result in not being able to purchase inventory or having too much cash tied up in inventory. It can also mean you don't understand profitability of your products and are investing in too many with low or no profit. Additionally, you may not have a strong understanding of how marketing spend impacts your business and therefore invest in the wrong channels. On top of that, if you're not tracking and reconciling ARAP regularly, you might not notice when you've double paid a vendor or when a client hasn't paid you. And finally, if you're not keeping good books, you're going to have a hard time getting funding, whether that's from investors or a bank. They're not going to be impressed when they ask questions that you don't have answers to. So, we've had companies come to us who are scrambling to get ready for taxes, others who haven't done books in 2.5 years and have angry investors. Even when you're working with a great partner, it's always more painful to get things back on track than to do them, just right in the first place. But the reason to keep up on your books isn't just to avoid doom and gloom. Because when you do have accurate financial data, you actually have a lot more opportunity to grow. For example, you can make realistic plans for the future because your projections are based on real numbers and thus more likely to pan out. You can also make more informed decisions around when and where to invest resources because you can see where your money is coming from. And also, you're better positioned to raise or borrow money because you can confidently show investors and lenders how your business is doing and make credible projections for where it's going to go. So, Pilot will let you handle this core business need with an ease and effectiveness historically reserved for the big companies. So, when working with Pilot, we're going to give you automatic, accurate insights into your business. Everything here is industry standard, accrual-based bookkeeping with QuickBooks Online, and the advantages of a finance team at really a fraction of the cost. So we like to describe Pilot as people assisted by software. We have a team of bookkeeping experts to lead the way and sophisticated software that supports them by handling the tedious, mundane, repetitive tasks faster and more accurately than a person ever could. So how does it actually work? Well, we're going to take a look at a sample workflow of someone signing up with Pilot and look at both what the customer sees and what the Pilot expert sees through the process from setup to close. So when you sign up with Pilot, we'll go through an onboarding process to help us get to know your business. This is when we'll get you all set up in your systems so we can get your books done efficiently and accurately without having to pepper you with a bunch of questions. So onboarding is also where you'll meet your finance expert who will be responsible for your books at Pilot. So here in our example, new Pilot customer Jamie works with Pilot finance expert Taylor to manage her books for Acme, a consumer goods company. So we like to say here that you only have to tell us something once. And what that means is as a part of onboarding, we'll interview you to learn as much as we can about your business, your operations, and anything else we need to know to get your books in order. So here, we're looking at Taylor's notes on Acme's business, including things to keep in mind and an ongoing issue that they're having. So these notes are regularly maintained and easy for our team to access. So if your regular finance expert is out sick, the knowledge of how to handle your unique books isn't out as well. We'll also use the information to build your unique account checklist, which I'll show you over the next few slides. So when it's time to do your books each month, we've created a rigorous process that we follow every time, so there's a consistency and thoroughness for every single monthly close. The overall checklist includes 14 steps, some of which are done manually by our team, and some of which are done by the software. These also include a large number of sub-steps. So for example, here's a closer look at the categorized transactions sub-step. Here, we see that Acme's transaction at Cool Gadgets needs to be categorized. This is actually a great example of how we use your software to support our team. Because if you look in the upper right corner, you see the lightning bolt showing that the software has a suggestion based on how this kind of transaction has been categorized in the past. That means Taylor can get this sorted out more quickly. And it also means that every time we categorize a transaction, the system gets smarter. So this is something that your expert could do manually, but the software does it faster and with fewer opportunities for mistakes. The time we save on easily automatable tasks like this frees up your expert to do a more comprehensive review later. They get to know you. They really get to know your business. So that being said, sometimes there will be times that we need additional information from you. And a common example is a new vendor that we're not sure about. So when that happens, the pilot portal makes it really easy to see what info we need and provide those requests in a central location. That means no more disruptive phone calls or lost emails. It's all consolidated here in the portal. So the 14-step checklist is really the starting point for every account. We customize the specific sub-steps to fit your business and the systems you use. This is where we use the details you share with us during the onboarding conversation. Here we see that Acme has a special step around their transactions, which allows Taylor has already called out and make sure that anyone else working on the books doesn't miss it. Now, this ensures we capture any special needs for getting your books done, so there are no delays because we have, forgot something to watch for. Again, you only have to tell us once and then we'll get it encoded in the system. Reviewing and reconciling many transactions is another one of those super tedious tasks where it's really easy for people to make mistakes. That's why when it's time to review your books, our software tool ReviewBot will take the first pass. ReviewBot will run through a series of checks on your books and come back with preliminary results. If anything looks off, it'll flag those items for your experts to investigate and resolve. So, the ReviewBot software takes a first pass at your books, but then what happens? Well, software is great for large-scale number matching, but critical thinking and problem solving, not so much. That's why once ReviewBot is finished, the books go to your expert for the second round of review. What we're seeing here are some of the results from ReviewBot's run-through. So the software flags specific transactions as unexpected and flag those with notes on the issue so that a person can step in. So Taylor will now go over these flagged issues and figure out what's going on. So most providers would stop there, but we actually include another level of review. So after your expert has gone over the books again and resolved everything that ReviewBot has flagged, your books will continue to a peer expert on our team for actually a third round of review. Now, the fresh set of eyes helps catch anything your expert may have missed and ensures your books have unparalleled accuracy. And this is really one of the places Pilot shines as a partner. Most bookkeepers do a less comprehensive job because of how labor-intensive accurate bookkeeping can be, but Pilot software allows us to offer very high-quality work more efficiently than a traditional bookkeeping firm. So finally, Acme's books are done and Taylor delivers them to Jamie. At the end of each month, you'll get an email from your expert with accurate books, plus any of the notes from your finance team. So for example, here we see Taylor flagged an increase in rent for Acme to confirm that it was expected. This is actually a fairly common thing we do for our clients, and we've been able to catch many vendor errors that have ultimately saved our clients thousands and thousands of dollars. So the bottom line is, we do all of the work so you can spend your time growing your business instead. As a part of the reporting package, We also provide a Flux Insights report. This report resurfaces expense accounts with notable fluctuations compared to the previous month in an easy to read format. If you have expense changes that deserve a closer look, you'll see them in the Flux Insights report, along with insights about what drove those changes. It's just one more tool to keep your spend in check. We also send you a couple other financial reports every month, like your P&L, your balance sheet, your cash flow statement. And we also offer burn rate reports to our startup customers, so you can easily see and track how much cash you have left in the bank. And part of why we're able to offer deep, comprehensive service is because we have such extensive experience in doing the books for companies like yours. With over 1,000 customers served, we've seen pretty much everything, which means we have a good sense of what works and what doesn't. We work with businesses across a range of industries, including technology, e-commerce, healthcare, professional services. We've built expertise in e-commerce and can offer guidance around best practices and common mistakes that we've seen at similar companies, and offer recommendations for your business based on what works for our customers. So today we talked about bookkeeping, but like I mentioned earlier, Pilot actually offers a range of services beyond that to help you manage your business's finances, including strategic guidance from our CFO services team, putting inventory controls in place with controller services, and offering tactical support like tax prep or accounts payable processing. In fact, we think of bookkeeping as the foundation for your financial stack, which all the other parts build off of. High quality financial data feeds into strategic business decisions, and it is a requirement for filing your taxes, especially if you intend to pursue complicated tax options like the R&D tax credit. It's going to require a lot more clear documentation to claim, and Pilot can help you with all these things as well. So thank you so much for joining me on that walk through Pilot's bookkeeping service for e-commerce. If you want to learn more about bookkeeping or any of the other services we provide, we'd be happy to set up a call with one of our specialists to discuss your company's specific needs. Thank you for joining again, and I hope you have a great day.